Happy Sunday. Welcome to At Weeks. And it's a fantastic week to be a comic book fan, to be a DC fan, a Peacemaker fan, a Suicide Squad fan, a Rick Flag fan. Happy to report our boy is back, and I'm excited to talk about it. Some theories, some questions. I want to hear from you in the chat, what you might think is going on. Can we trust anything in this new world? The best dimension ever, or is it? It's definitely not as it seems. DC's big KO event is right around the corner, and we looked at it last week, the announcements of the lineup, but we're going to dive a little bit more into it. I'm going to question my co-host with the most, see what he thinks about it along the way, as well as y'all in the chat, so y'all can help out and play along. And we're going to be talking a little bit about Alien Earth, this Batman relaunch, reviewing some new books, and who knows what else. We're going to be doing all that right after this. What's up, Paul?
Oh, and they announced the next Superman movie.
They did, didn't they? did they or didn't they?
Well, yeah. It's actually not Superman. It's just Man of Tomorrow is the name of it. So
yeah, the second Superman movie without Superman in the title.
Correct.
Well, thank you to everyone who's here when it starts, who rolls in. As Paul likes to remind me, it's football season. This show counter programs everyone's favorite program, sometimes even ours. I'm just grateful that Peacemaker comes out on Thursdays.
Yeah.
And, I've ever since that our at Year's End stream, I don't know, it might not have been at Year's, it might have just been the Alien Romulus stream where we had the xenomorph over one of our heads look weird. I've been very conscious about how I structure the thumbnail for this show. And as you see, we're represented properly tonight by Rick Flags.
Yes, absolutely.
I got a good Rick Flag. Yo, how fun was that? Rick Flag is back, guys.
Exactly.
Peacemaker season 2, episode 3. Rick Flag is back. I'm so excited. I got so much to look forward to with this season now. I think I'm going to end a little upset compared. Like I'll tell you right now, I want so much more out of Joel Kinnaman coming back than they'll ever actually give us. So, like me wanting it and expecting it are two different things. I'm happy he's back. I'm happy he's back. My wife's willing to watch Peacemaker now. She said she's gonna go back and watch the Suicide Squad and dive into Peacemaker season 1 finally. Because when we watched the Suicide Squad years ago, when we watched it, that was a lockdown movie. So when we watched that movie years ago, as soon as it was over, she said, I'm done. She was like done with the DCU. She was like mad. Like me and her both were like, we're big Suicide Squad fans, even from the first movie. My wife loves the first movie. I do too. Joel Kinnaman's a big part of that movie, like huge part of it. And the fact that they killed him off was atrocious. But I tried to talk her into watching Peacemaker, letting her know he didn't die in vain and all this stuff. And Christopher Smith is on this crazy arc you never expect. And it's not stopping yet. And I'm glad that it's just becoming more and more important, this character.
Yeah, and there was a callback actually to the first Peacemaker, to the first Suicide Squad movie. Rick Flag mentioned his ex, who's a sorceress, who is the Enchantress, who was in the first
June
movie.
Moon. Yeah, June Moon, the Enchantress. Now that is because someone reached out to me and said, did they canonize? Did they make canon the first movie? I said, not necessarily. All that they made canon was the fact that Rick Flag was dating June Moon. That doesn't mean that they made canon the entire events of the first movie. Just in the DCU, Rick Flag dates June Moon. Like, does that mean that all those other things, like the whole, was it Keystone City that all went down in?
I wouldn't expect to see Jared Leto anytime soon.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that any of that is canon. Just what they show us or tell us. So all we know for certain is June Moon exists in the DCU and Rick Flag was dating her, which I think is fantastic. I would love to get a little pop-up of Enchantress. That would be amazing. If there's a character that can solve this too many interdimensional door problems they have, Enchantress could. Let her walk in there. She'll shut them down real fast. But let's say hey to some of the people in the chat and we'll dive back into this. I'm excited to talk. We got Wellbore. What's going on, brother? AR, Rick Flag Jr. I'm so happy for you. Yes. Dude, I'm so stoked. Metal Elf Collectibles. What is going on? David Batty, what's up, brother? Good to see you in here. Oh, channel member, that reminds me. Tonight is the channel member giveaway. If you are a channel member in the Legion tier, I got your name on the wheel. I got the awesome stack of books we're giving away. In arm's reach, of course.
Of course.
course, of course. A stack of books I'm giving away. We'll look at those after we go through and say hey to the chat. But good to see you in here, David. Phil, what's going on, homie? Hello, hello. Kevin Davis, what's going on, brother? Good to see you in here. People isn't getting offended by Peacemaker because this is Warner Brothers, not Disney. Oh, dude, there's a lot of people offended by Peacemaker. A lot, man. There's a lot. There's a lot. I think James Gunn is coming directly forward. We're going to be talking about some of that. Dude, there's a lot of people offended with episode 1 because they had that very, very sexualized scene where he's walking numb through like this raging house party, which is a freaking orgy going on, and he's just so broken that he's just disconnected. So many people online that I had some discourse with were mad that James Gunn would go from this family-oriented, anyone go watch it, Superman, hopeful, happy kind of installment in the DCU, then hard shift over to this. But this is what I've been telling people, like this is what the DCU is going to be. It's what you need. It's not, this isn't Disney. This isn't copy and paste. Every project is going to be true to the nature of the character it's getting. But I don't want Superman in this show at all, and I think he's going to appear. I saw David Cornsweet was on set in costume just to surprise him. No,
you don't just show up in costume on set. Oh, look, and it happened to be, I was at the subway next door.
Yeah, it wasn't in a Spirit Halloween version of his costume. It was the screen ready version of the costume. Yeah. But there's definitely some people offended by it, but not me. No siree. I watched season 1. I knew what I was in for. I might be offended by some things that he does later down the road, but there's really nothing to be offended by quite yet. DJ Links is in the building. # raise the flag, dude. How long have I been saying that? It finally came true, dude. That is, I'm so excited. So excited. Stephen with a C. Is it Stephen with the C, aka Leafy Substances? It's good to see you in here by your real name, Stephen with the C. A1 from day one. Joffrey, what is going on? Peacemaker is such a great show. TVMA is not PG-13. Big facts. Big facts. And to Disney's credit, the trailer for Marvel Zombies, which I said I don't care about, I'm not going to watch. They dropped the trailer for it. TVMA, first animated installment to TVMA. We've had Echo, which was our first TVMA project. We had Daredevil, but now Marvel Zombies, which I assumed would be TVMA. But they showed Blade in the freaking trailer, and I'm sold. Like that, dude. That little clip with Blade looked amazing, and I think it might be fun. I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna give it a shot. What's going on? Anachronic Comics in the building. Let's see what AR says. It's getting harder to lie to my kids about there being more DC Universe than Superman right now. Watching this last episode, I cried out the crab joys, and my kids came in talking about where. Oh yeah, the billboard. Yeah,
the billboard. Yeah, because Chris was running to dive into the
that is Peacemaker, right?
Yeah.
He's not wearing his suit.
Right.
Yeah, what a great episode. But real quick, I'm going to show everybody what's in the Legion loot for tonight. And I got your names on the wheel again. Check out the channel membership. The channel membership stays live. It's always something you could hit. It either says join or subscribe plus. There's different updates, different operating systems, so it might be different, but it gets you the loyalty badges next to your name denoting how long you've been a channel member, as well as access to custom emojis. And if you're in the Legion tier, you get early access to videos, exclusive streams. I tend to make the exclusive streams open to all channel members. And I'll put your name on the Legion Loot prize wheel. And these right here, the first ones are from Big Time Collectibles. Nelson is such a fantastic individual. He sends a stack of books. He uses giveaways to pass back out to the community. It's the best online retailer in the game, but this is John Jang's variant for Spider-Man 64, Big Time Collectibles exclusive. This is the Crow. Which one is this? This is just the Crow, exclusive to 300 copies. This is a Fan Expo exclusive by Miko Suwayan. This is the Freely Abrego San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. This is limited to only 300 copies as well. It's issue number 10 of the current run. He does the chibi style a lot like Scotty Young. And then you have this, what is this? Death of the Silver Surfer, Miko Suwayan. This is the Fan Expo exclusive foil version, limited to 300 copies. So 500, I'm sorry. So there's a lot of like super low print run books. You got Galactus there in his dome and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, no fingerprint. Good job.
Yeah. So with the upcoming crossover with DC and Marvel again, finally after so many years, Batman, Deadpool is coming, a bunch of other characters, a bunch of creators. This is where I always go back to. So I wanted to get this in somebody's hands. If you didn't read the GOAT of all crossover stories, this is the one. DC versus Marvel, aka Marvel versus DC. They alternate every issue from DC versus Marvel to Marvel versus DC, but issue number 1. And this is the one that you could go to your LCS and vote on who you wanted to win. I actually have a voter card down there. Issue number 2. Look at that awesome cover, man. God, I love the 90s. Issue number 3. This was always one of my favorite covers as a kid. It was crazy how Lobo's blade was actually cutting into Wolverine's arm. I'm like, oh, it's so violent. Mm-hmm. And then issue number 4, which is the first appearance of the Amalgam universe, when they merge at the end of this one, and it all goes where Doctor Strange fate, Spider-Boy, the Creeper, like, yeah, this is the one. Dark Claw, Super Soldier, all that. But yeah, that's the whole miniseries. And then Suicide Squad issue number 2 from 2016. This is the Jim Lee cover. He also does the interiors. This was a phenomenal run. Such a good run. They stumble into letting Zod loose right at the beginning of it. It's insane. But this is the first appearance of Amelia Harcourt. So James Gunn's wife, Jennifer Holland, plays Harcourt in the DCU. She's been in the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker Season 1, Black Adam, Shazam Fury of the Gods, Peacemaker Season 2. I didn't see her in Superman, which was kind of a letdown. She's kind of been she's our Agent Coulson, pretty much. She's the glue to all this stuff. But the first appearance of Amelia Harcourt, and back in these days, they did do variants, not 50, but they did do 2. So there's the Lee Bermejo variant, just early Lee Bermejo. I mean, look at that. So you get 2 first appearances of Amelia Harcourt. And this is the Cale New cover of Batman Brave and the Bold, issue number 4 from just a couple years ago, where Harcourt made her triumphant return to comics and graced the cover of, I think it was a C cover, but even got her named on the tombstone there. There you go. Here lies Amelia Harcourt. Super cool, good stuff. And then because, Charlton Comics love with Peacemaker and Judo Master, and we don't know who else he might bring in here. Will it be Captain Atom, Blue Beetle, The Question? I don't know, but here's the Blue Beetle issue number 1 that features the first appearance of The Question, and this is the Modern Comics print edition of it. So boom, get some Ted Cord, Blue Beetle, and some Question goodness.
Vic Sage.
Yeah, Vic Sage, yeah. Who'll be returning to comics this October.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let's go. So that
Green Arrow Batman Question crossover.
Yeah. She's our Agent Coulson. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Our Agent Coulson's way hotter. Yeah, I loved Agent Coulson. That was so cool.
Spent a lot of time in Tahiti from what I recall.
Yeah, that's what I heard. All right, so what is going on, Beckerman? Good to see you in here, homie. Happy weeks into us all. Love Peacemaker. The last episode was fantastic. 1,000% agree. Creature Commandos wasn't kid friendly either. Not at all. That was a criticism I had about starting the DCU with Creature Commandos. It seemed like such a wild thing to do. We got this whole brand new universe that everyone's excited about, and you start with an animated feature with some of the most offbeat characters ever and highly R-rated. I remember seeing people mad back when that came out, talking about, because you got to think not everybody pays as much attention, especially like the normies definitely don't. They see cartoon, they see superheroes, they see DC. Like, all right, let me fire this up. I saw people complaining that I turned this on with my kid and had to grab their ears and run them out of the room within 5 minutes. And I'm thinking, well, dude, like it's called Creature Commandos. It's on HBO. Streaming services aren't safe. You have to look. I got kids. I don't click on nothing without knowing. I would never do that, but all the warnings are there, but still, I get like it happened with me in Free Guy. Back when Disney Plus was a kids platform, out of left field, they put that movie Free Guy on there, which wasn't a Disney original movie, that Ryan Reynolds movie. And me and the wife turned it on to watch with the kids. This was back before any other things were integrated into Disney. It was only a kids platform. And Free Guy dropped an F-bomb out of left field. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? I was ready to cancel my subscription. Like, they betrayed the trust of parents. Like, they're like, it's a kids platform. It's not now. It's fully integrated with R-rated stuff and Hulu and everything else, but it wasn't like that when it started. Peacemaker is excellent. Hell yeah, to the return of Rick Flag. Let's go. Raise the flag. I got that. We're going to hit on that in just a second here, going through this. But keep Mon Comics and his family in your prayers. Life is brutal at times. Yes. Well, we'll go ahead and touch on that as we go through this. So I got this up right here in the background. But I was telling Paul right before we went live that our buddy Brandon Mons Comics, he's I was on his channel. I was on his stream last night. He had been talking with me and Rob and DJ and Austin for a couple of months now, planning this out, for a few months actually, to get us on to kind of do his little live stream he does and talk about comics curing cancer to promote it. So less than 24 hours ago, we were hanging out with Brandon, sharing comics that we love, about this hobby that we love, surrounded by these possessions that we enjoy acquiring and sharing with each other on this platform. And in less than 24 hours, this dude has lost everything except for the lives of his family members. He posted this up saying that he has so many friends on here reaching out. It's impossible to answer everyone with the amount of messages, love and concern we're receiving. So I figure I make a post a blanket response to everyone. Yes, we unfortunately had a house fire today. Something malfunctioned with our smoker. I was making ribs and it caught our house on fire. My wife, daughter, myself are all safe. The first responders and firefighters even saved our 2 cats. The house, we're guessing, will be a total loss. It's sad and we're heartbroken, but it can all be replaced. Luckily, we live in a very small, close-knit community, so the response has been overwhelming in the most positive way. We are so grateful we all have our health. Thanks for all your outreach, and if you need to reach out and I don't answer, please, please, please just understand we got a lot of work ahead of us. Much love to you all. So that's crazy. My heart breaks for him. That's absolutely insane. You know, he's got a great mindset to it. You know, the only thing that really matters is the safety of your family in a situation like that. And that's a big, 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 big win that the first responders and the firefighters were able to even get his pets out of there. That's amazing. But it sucks that he's lost everything. You know, it is just stuff, but we are sentimentally, emotionally, nostalgically, we're attached to this stuff. Memories are attached to all kinds of things, but I hate it for him. If you know him, keep him in your prayers. If you don't know him, keep him in your prayers. Reach out to him. He might not respond like he said, but drop him a line. Let him know you're there. You know, he's strong, but you never know when reality might set in. And it'd be good to have those messages. You might just be the one that the words you say make a difference that moment for him. So don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. All right. Anna Chronic says a dorky Rick Flag. Yeah. Yeah, definitely a great miniseries. There's those custom emojis. Trav, good to see you, homie. What's up, brother? Yeah. Legion Loot is always fire. Yep. I try to keep it what do I say on Guess That Key? Relevant? Topical. I try to keep it topical. Speaking of that, Guess That Key.
This week we're doing it is, can I show what I'm going to be giving away?
Please do.
Okay. We've been doing a Summer of Superman giveaways all summer, and we're almost at the end of summer, so we're doing our final Summer of Superman giveaway. So Wednesday night at 9:00, Mark will be on. We're going to talk Eric with the creator of Eric, Jonathan Medici, Jonathan Medici 7 on Instagram, and we'll have Team Ready with us as well. So, but we'll be having our final Summer of Superman giveaway, and we're going out with a bang. Of course, we've been giving away this all summer, first of all.
Yeah, with a free month subscription to DC Unlimited Ultra tier.
Exactly. So I'm giving that away. We are giving away, this is the Superman Treasury 2025. This is the Bruno Redondo Virgin Foil variant that we'll be giving away.
That was a good read, too.
That was a good read.
Yeah.
We're giving away, this is Ultimate Superman number 2. This is the green Kryptonite foil variant that was done in conjunction with Look, Dine in Cinema. Yep. I believe there are only 500 of these.
Super rare.
So we're giving away one of these. And this is a BTC, by the way, so Mark's sponsor. So, and another BTC we're giving away. This is Superman number 4. This is the Bizarro purple foil in a CGC 9.8.
You know, those are my 2 favorite colors, Paul.
Are they? Really?
Green
purple
and purple.
Yep. There you go. So again, just make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you're in the live chat when we go live Wednesday night at 9:00. Play along in the chat as well, and maybe even win some cool stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, we do this every other Wednesday on his channel. Every Monday at 10 a.m. we're on his channel. Every other Wednesday at 9 p.m. we're on his channel playing Guess That Key for a live stream. He gives stuff away, crazy giveaways like that every single week. So come over, hang out, guess some keys, have some fun, talk some trash. It's really just, it's a good time. Good time. Yeah. Cartoon is not what you think when it comes to DC now. Yeah. Very true. Very true. What is going on, Wellbore? What is going on, Bryant? Hello. Yeah, dude, that house fire is insane. That's yes. Glad they're okay. Yeah, exactly how I feel. Like I'm glad they're okay. I'm glad he's got the right mindset about it. Doesn't change that it's a tragedy. It could have been worse, sure, but doesn't change it. Everyone give Matt here a hearty happy birthday. It was his birthday yesterday in Australia.
Happy birthday.
Which means it's his birthday here today.
Right.
I love time zones. Sir Timothy Nerdy, what is going on, brother? Good to see you in here. Never have to guess what Paul is giving away. Foil is always a correct answer. Yes, it is. Yes. All right, let's get down to it. I think they were making it to the bottom here. Lots of shiny. Yeah, it is a fun game. Sir Timothy Nerdy will be on there hanging out and playing with us. All right, I want back over here to the Suicide Squad Rick Flag. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with Peacemaker, man. It's the thing that I'm the most excited to talk about. So if we're going to spend the most time on something with me rambling, as I always do, I'm very long-winded. I'd rather it be on this than anything else. And yeah, Peacemaker season 2, episode 3. We start where we left off. You know, Rick pretty much said, or Chris pretty much said, screw it, went back in the doorway. He's going to the better universe, the one where he's happy. So we actually get to see him kind of establish himself over here. He hangs out and talks to his brother in his house, kind of like fishing for information, not letting on that he's not the real Christopher of this dimension, you know, asking like, hey, if
quick quiz.
Pop quiz. If I, if I wanted to go to work, where would I go? And if I wanted to go meet Harcourt at, where would I be? If I, hey, can I borrow your car keys? And he's like, dude, just go take the peace bike. And we get to see his cool motorcycle. He goes to rendezvous with Harcourt that he texted with, who they're on the outs on this world. We find out in this episode it's because he's a terrible person. You know, he's running around on her, this and that. But she works at Argus. He works at Argus, I guess, too. But he goes up to Argus to meet up with her, and we see him interact with the world a little bit. We see him get to travel around the world.
In the very first scene, we didn't have to wait long for Rick Flag. He was in the very first scene.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, it jumped right over that. Yeah, it literally starts with a flashback from 3 years ago with Amelia and Rick kind of getting out of bed where they just spent the night together, where she's getting dressed and they're talking about how they're each other's only friend. And he mentions June Moon, the enchantress, why he's afraid to break up with her, that he's afraid she'll just put like a black hole in the center of the world and destroy it pretty much, and this and that. And she's like, all right, well, get dressed. You got to go. You're leaving for Corto Maltese shortly. And then it does like a quick flash to catch you up on events, and you go through the whole rigmarole of the Suicide Squad all the way to his death, which was heartbreaking. I was so excited when I saw him in that opening scene, just for it to run back through to his death. I'm like, that better not be it. Right. That better not be it. They better not have brought him back just to let us know this is why Harcourt hates Peacemaker so much in the main universe, because Peacemaker literally killed her boyfriend that no one knew she was dating. But it was wild. Oh, dude, you just hit 500 subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what that means? You should get an email from YouTube soon. You should be able to turn on memberships and get super chats now.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Look at that. Look at you thinking of ideas. Yes. Yeah, you can monetize at 500 now. They lowered it back down from 1,000 to 500. I think it's just different things you can do. I don't know what all you can do. You should be able to turn on memberships, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Some Green Lantern emojis. Just rings.
There's like 7 different ones that you could do, probably.
Dude, thank you so much, Metal Elf. Yeah, that's amazing. Appreciate you. That's been way overdue. Way overdue. The flashback shows why Amelia says her relationship with Peacemaker is complicated. 1,000%. Yeah. Yeah, because Peacemaker's come a long way. We've talked about it. Like, the guy that he is in the Suicide Squad film is like a hollow vessel that's been filled by other people. You know, and the biggest regret of his life was killing Colonel Rick Flag. And I would say that stays true even after season 1 of Peacemaker, when he drops his own father. But he looked at Rick Flag. He called him. He's like, dude, I would do it even to an American hero like yourself, Colonel Flag. Like, he didn't want to do it. It was like against everything in him, but because he was driven by other people's ideology at that point.
Yeah, I think I described Peacemaker. Every single character in Peacemaker is a group of people who are incapable of forming relationships with other people, desperately trying to form relationships with other people.
That's a perfect way to describe it. It really is. They're terrible. We see that with Adebayo, with her wife and everything. We see that with Adrian, who's just too awkward despite trying. Amelia, who's just closed off. And they're all like a chip off the old block, which is Amanda Waller, who's just the same way in her own right. But yeah, we get that little context of these characters, and that just kind of just like breaks my heart right off rip. And when it comes to Argus in the real world, we have a strike team assembling and dealing with everything, getting ready to go in on Peacemaker. But he's over on the other world trying to sew things up with Amelia. And he goes to visit her at work, and that's where we get to see Rick Flag Jr. in this other dimension.
In the office.
Where he's definitely not as muscular. He's a little bit awkward, peeking over cubicles, not listening to their conversation. Definitely
knocking over trash barrels, trying to be
it was crazy.
Stealthy.
Now we did talk about the possibility of this other dimension being Earth X, like the James Gunn version of Earth X. And the podcast stuff, he's calling it Earth 2. I mean, which is fine. That's not unfounded. That's what I was thinking at first. Like, is it just an alternate where the good guys are bad guys and bad guys are good guys? At this point, it's pretty much certain that this is just a world where Augie, his dad, the Blue Dragon is what he's called in this world, it just reigns supreme. This is clearly a white Nazi ran world. Like there's no people of color, there's no minority, there's nobody. Taylor Winder was the first one to bring this to my attention. Like after episode 1, he thinks it's going to be like this crazy Nazi world that his dad just rules over, which makes me think immediately of Earth X, like it was introduced with the CW stuff and all that. Well, I think it's going to be a James Gunn version of that. It almost solidified it in this, having seen that there's no other minorities anywhere. When he's driving down the road on his bike, this little kid rolls the car window down and screams, "Peacemaker, I love you," and then starts crying. I'm like, dude, that kid's crying out of fear. I was watching this whole episode through the lens that this is it's the Earth X world. And when I was like, it's clearly the Earth X world. Did you catch on to anything?
Yeah, it was, and I think we talked about this last week too. It was, one of our theories was that they are the reason why they're so adored is because they basically scared everybody into making them adore them.
Yeah, if I don't worship them enough, what's going to happen to me?
Yeah, it's fascism at its best.
Yeah, at its absolute best. But hey, on the good side, Jitters Coffee Shop still exists here. So we've got Jitters in here, Jitters in the Superman movie, the Flash TV show. It's always cool seeing those DC staples. Like that's something that's really fun about DC Comics. They have their own cities, their own lore and everything. They don't borrow as much from the real world when it comes to geography. You have Metropolis and Gotham versus New York and Chicago and stuff. That's why all the heroes in Marvel are in New York, because they never thought just to create their own cities and assign their heroes to them. We're in DC, you got Central City, Keystone City, Gotham. Like they all got their own city. Yeah, Earth X for sure. It's what it's feeling like. Definitely what it's feeling like. And then while him and Amelia go outside, they're chit-chatting, they're catching up on everything. They're kind of talking, and she's like, she seems really tough, but really vulnerable. She, like in this world where it's all Mayberry, she's still swearing a lot. She still has that. She's got that spark in her. I saw a couple of hashtags where people were calling her all these different names, like was like Alt Court instead of Harcourt, like ALT Alt Court. James Gunn called her Thirst Court. Like there's just all kinds of little alternate ones, but alternate Harcourt. What she clearly wants to be back in a relationship with Christopher, but she doesn't want to be hurt again. And she made the statements that like you're out there running around on me with all these other women. We learned from the conversations with Keith that he's on pills and drinking all the time. He's a terrible person. And while they're sitting on a park bench talking about all this, and think about it, if you're willing to commit, if you're willing to actually try this honestly and not just hurt me, we can talk about it later. And while they're talking, a group of people run in front of them wearing like bulletproof vests, carrying bags, and one of them trips and falls and explodes into just like a fury of blood and body parts and blows them off the park bench. And the gang stops and turn around and screams, "Jerry, no!" Which I thought was funny that they named the dead guy for us. But they reveal themselves to be the Sons of Liberty, and they run into the Argus headquarters and start firing off shots, going and setting up bombs. And we learn from the police response coming in that this is a little terrorist group called the Sons of Liberty that are blowing up places here and there and getting out of there. And they're all just standing by, waiting and hoping nothing happens. And Christopher gets up. He's like, I got this. Y'all wait here. And they think he's crazy for even trying, but he's like, no, you're cool. Just wait here. And he goes in the building next door, gets to the roof, and he runs across the roof and jumps from one roof through the window of the building next to it and blows the mind of everybody watching. Like, everyone can't believe that one of the main heroes of this planet would do something heroic. That was another big clue for me. Like, it was kind of weird because the cop, what did he say? That is Peacemaker, right?
Yeah.
And they were shocked that he would be working out of his uniform. I think it was Pops that said, like, the fact that he wouldn't dare dirty his clothes, that if I'm not in my uniform, sorry, I can't help. It's just something he could picture him saying. We get an awesome fight scene where he just goes John Rambo and dismantles this whole crew one by one through this building in violent ways, smashing them with desks, stabbing them through the head with pencils, point blank shooting them.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what is it? Dewires the bomb, diffuses the bomb.
Yeah, it just pulls out the 3 wires and that's it.
Yeah, shocked that it worked.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, helicopter pulled up above the building to get them all out of there, but no one's showing up to the helicopter. They're like, where is everybody? About that time, they look up, and here comes their first look at Captain Triumph. Keith arrives on the scene, comes flying out of him full speed, and just barrels up into a cannonball and just crashes through the helicopter. And we get this awesome moment where it crashes, and Keith comes and meets up with Peacemaker. He's like, "Did you get him, Crisper?" He's like, "Oh yeah," and they hug it out, and it's still. It sucks that these guys are going to be terrible people, because seeing the brotherly bond of what Christopher's missing, it's so homey, it's so heartwarming. But then it's all going to be turned on its head soon. It's almost like I hate that this is a feel good moment, like these terrible people that probably just killed a bunch of good guys. It's just it's unfortunate. But back on the regular. Oh, go ahead.
I'd say so far though, it's still the best universe ever,
best dimension ever.
Yeah.
Back on the regular world, I don't know the girl's name that's in charge of putting the strike team back together to take another hit on Christopher's house, but they call in Michael Rooker's character, that's Eagly's arch nemesis that's been created for this show. Mm-hmm. He's dressed like in Native American garb. He's talking crazy about killing eagles. John economists think it's crazy that a man exists who hunts bald eagles. He's like, where are you from, bro? This is America. And the lady who's been with Rick Flag Sr., like his assistant, saying, when we get there, you take out the eagle. And his response is, and every eagle in the vicinity. And they're like, Jesus, man, no, just the one. But they walk to get into the car to leave and say that, what is it, Rick Jagger is the newest member of the team. Judo Master's back.
Yep.
Eating hot Cheetos like always. So we got the return of Judo Master in this episode. No, it should be on the end of the couch. But yeah, that's pretty much where it ended. Peacemaker's coming home to a strike team prepared for him, coming at him. Mm-hmm. It's going to be rough. Yeah,
we're halfway to episode 6 too.
Which is our first huge one, right? The big enchilada.
6, 7, and 8.
So what you got any theories on Rick Flag? I got a couple.
No, I don't really have any yet. I need to see some more, I think.
My first instinct is like, because someone asked James Gunn online, like, why is he kind of weak? Why is he kind of jumpy on? He's on James Gunn, like, this is a different world. Why is everyone a little bit different on this world? Different events, butterfly effect. I think this dude is probably like the low key, the leader of the Sons of Liberty. Like him and Peacemaker want the same thing. It could be mortal enemies on this world, not our Peacemaker and this Rick Flag, but maybe this Rick Flag is secretly running the Sons of Liberty. He's in the army. He's got the resources. He has the information, the intel. I wouldn't be too surprised if we get a twist like that. Just to have him just be present and not having a bigger moment in the show. I can't picture that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think I mentioned this last time too. I would still not be surprised if Chris ends up killing both his brother and his father again.
Yeah.
And like maybe even teaming with Rick Flag.
Yeah, on this world, that's a good one too. Like on this world, I can definitely picture Peacemaker having killed Senior and Junior not liking him for it. Mm-hmm. I would like to see these two team up more than anything in my bones. Like that's That's my ultimate.
No, I'm talking about Chris killing his father, the Blue Dragon,
Oh,
and his brother again.
oh yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
this time doing it because he had to do it.
yeah. So I didn't accidentally wear this shirt, by the way. So I posted it on Instagram earlier today. James Gunn invented the cure for this world already. And Rick Flag Sr. has access to the cure for this world already. Back in Creature Commandos, it introduced us to a very, very cool Task Force M, the monsters. Uh, I think the fan favorite for the group was definitely GI Robot for a lot of people,
Oh
a lot
man,
of
imagine
reasons.
that. How much mileage you get out? Do I get to kill Nazis now in this world?
All Rick Flag Sr.'s got to do is go get GI Robot and just send him through the door, and it'll work itself out.
Kill all the Nazis you want.
It'll work itself out. Just walking through town, just killing everybody. Can you imagine if we get a live action GI Robot?
Mm,
And the last time we saw him, he had that in that bigger body too.
right.
Oh, that would be so interesting. Mm. I think that Alt Court isn't going to make it through this series. That's one thing I don't think is going to happen.
Really?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think she's
Either of
going
them,
to
or just the one
Alt
on?
Court.
No. Okay, all courts. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Alternate hardcourt,
Yeah.
Alt Court, Alt Right Court, Alt Court. Yeah, I don't think she's going to make it through this. I remember seeing the trailer, like this came to my mind because I've just been rolling around thinking about this show. And there was a scene in the original trailer for this where Vigilante's dragging her through the closet and she's like bleeding from her mouth, even though she got shot up in the first one and was damn near dead in the first season. She pulled through, and we don't know which hardcourt that might be, but being that we have multiple versions of characters, that means they're even more expendable than they were to begin with. And you
Yeah.
take one out.
We still got to see more of Vigilante. We're not seeing enough of him.
We're not seeing enough. He had a fantastic couple moments in this show, though. He was hanging out with the 11th Street gang, and they're just kind of talking, and he's going on about
Ask me about spiders.
how many eyes do they have? Trick question. They come in pairs, 2.
Yeah.
And the economist said, "You said that so confidently. I had to check my notes again." No, man.
They have 8.
Yeah, it was funny. He's like, "Where are my pants?" "Oh, I washed them and folded them for you." Oh my god. And then the after credits, you see him slipping them off of him and kissing him on the forehead, tucking him. It's absolutely bananas. Yeah, we definitely aren't getting enough Vigilante, but we are getting some really great story and moments just with Christopher. Like, this show truly is just a deconstruction of Christopher Smith. Everything that happens, the antagonists, the supporting cast, they have stuff going on, sure, but it's all ultimately just to deconstruct and move this guy through this world. Like, that personal story of his is by far the primary focus of this series, of this show, both seasons. I have no clue what we have in store, but if we get a Rick Flags revealed to be like a badass, which I want more than anything, I'd love to see him and Peacemaker get to fight side by side. I think that's like the redemption arc that Christopher needs. Like, seeing how he reacted to coming face to face with him, he's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey man, how's it going?" But yeah, they definitely need to give him that. But with it being James Gunn, it's like, dude, predicting James Gunn is damn near impossible because like he's so good at writing twists, and like, I don't know, man. You think that Senior and Junior will get a chance to look face to face?
I don't know. So you're thinking that either Senior is going to go over to the? I mean, I'm assuming there's a Rick Flag Senior in the new dimension
If he's not dead
if he's
already.
not dead. So that means someone's got to go to the other dimension somehow in order for them to meet.
I think the big finale is going to take place in Best Dimension Ever. Because it looks like in the next episode, he's going to be running for his life, trying to find a way. Because as soon as he steps out, he's stepping into a trap from the strike team.
Right.
So he's about to, like, the last thing, what he wants more than anything is to get back to Harcourt. Like, he's committing to her. He's ready to start this life with her over there. And as soon as he steps through that door, he's about to get cut off from it. So he's going to be doing everything he can in his power to get back there for an episode. It's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. I just want more Rick Flag.
There you go.
Dude, if that's all we get a Rick Flag, I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm just still going to want more, but I don't think that's going to be it.
There's definitely more Rick Flag coming.
Definitely more Rick Flag. I still don't regret buying that shirt. Still one of my favorite shirts I have. I think I bought that shirt before he died. Yeah. And this little thing on his shirt, it's in Spanish, but it says obstacles or opportunities. That little rabbit holding that sign was a bobblehead in Adrian's car in season 1.
Oh, really?
And when they get in the car together, Christopher's just looking at it kind of like, and Adrian's like, "You okay, man?" And unless you're a psychopath like me who looked up that shirt and translated that shirt because you were wondering what it said. And hey, I'm happy that he's in yellow again too.
Right.
He was in uniform. That was good. But yeah. I guess we can quit boring people. Let's jump over to Alien Earth. What an episode!
It was the alien equivalent of an Absolute Comics then.
Then, exactly. Yeah, we get a flashback to the research ship and we get to see the events and how they played out with everything escaping containment and everyone slowly dying. It was brutal. It was insane. You had face huggers and melting people, and you had the Oculus attacking, getting on people. You had the little leeches infecting people and having reactions to being touched. And like people died in so many disastrous ways. There was a mutineer on board that the boy Cavalier had hired to throw off the ship so that it would crash in his territory so he could get these specimens, which kind of made the crash in episode 1 make sense now. Why did someone just crash like that these days? Well, yeah, it was actually sabotage to happen that way.
You got the eyeball one that's not as bad as you think it is.
The Oculus is rough.
Yeah. The way it was pounded on the thing. It's like, it's behind you. It's behind you.
Now, do you think it was trying to warn her or trying to keep her distracted so it could get out?
I think it was trying to warn her. Because I say that, I didn't know it at first, but only because of what it does later when it actually attacks the xenomorph.
Yeah, it goes fisticuffs with the xenomorphs. That was crazy. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. But seeing all the events play out was awesome. The way that it was shot, the design, the sets, the sounds, like the technology in this world is so spot on for how it's supposed to be and how it should be. The security room is what caught my attention when Morrow sits down in the chair and they just have a horizontal spread of monitors. And he sits in this chair and you hear that noise as it slides from side to side and the sound of him clicking the buttons and stuff, trying to find and see if he can see where the mutineer is at and everything. It was such a fantastic episode. Morrow is by far like the coolest character I think we've seen in a long time. But the little homages and callback, it was great. This series is just gorgeous. What's the name? Noah Hawley that's a showrunner for this. The guy that did Fargo is coming in strong with this show. I know a lot of people were, you have your naysayers like with the weird hybrids talking to the alien and stuff. But Morrow is a beast, absolutely. So I'm taking command of the ship. Yeah, he was done. He was done with the BS. Every episode should be like the last episode instead of focusing on the BS brother-sister relationship. 1,000% agree. 1,000% agree. Oh, that was one of my critiques early on is that, they did the 2-episode premiere and they gave us no one to attach ourselves to. Like who are we as the viewer supposed to care for that we can, attach ourselves to so that we can feel the suspense when they're being chased, so that we can care if they're being hurt or if they're in a situation. Who are we supposed to give a crap about? If we don't care about anyone, we're just watching people die and watching people make plans that get forward. You have to care for something. And it's just not Wendy. Wendy's not that person because it's this little kid in the synthetic body. We don't even know if it's actually a kid in the synthetic body. We don't know if it's just AI mirroring what it thinks her conscious looks like. And her brother's just not a good enough actor to care about. Like, I assume he's going to die from the moment I first saw him. But Morrow is that guy now. Morrow, I'm fully tethered to. Like, I like this guy. I like this guy, even though he doesn't have everyone's best interest at heart. He's a company man. Mm-hmm. This is the first time I think I've rooted for a company man, which is weird because, Weyland Yutani are not good people.
No, not at all.
But yeah, I don't know where we're going to go from here. I guess we're going to check back in with Morrow trying to infiltrate. We got to check back in with the kid who's got to go get somebody infected and smuggle out an infected person before Morrow kills his family. You know, the guy I
Yeah.
just said I'm rooting for.
Now that we know more about the Oculus, we gotta find out what's going on with that sheep.
Yeah, bro, it's so weird. As soon as that got in the sheet, the way it stood up on two
Yeah.
legs as a natural reaction. Now it kind of makes sense why the last thing it hosted, was the cat, but before that was in a person. So it's like
Right.
I like how it tests the anatomy of its host. How about the life of everyone on Earth? The stakes only seemed apparent in the last episode. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that's off the table too, right? Because this predates everything except for Prometheus and Covenant,
Mhm.
right? So the fact that it predates everything, we know Earth is fine. That's that part's out of there, but I don't know. And at this point, everything on Earth is safe. It's just on the island now. But we know Xenomorphs swim thanks to alien resurrection, and pretty much nothing can kill them like environmentally, cold, hot, unless you like drop all like the boiling lead on them, like from Alien 3. That did it, and it still jumped out of that and was crawling around. That hit the steam, the coolant on it after that. Yeah, even the boiling lead didn't kill it
Yep.
in Alien 3. That's right, it jumped out of there. It's crazy. They turned the sprinklers on, and then you got the weird CG look because the time error of it cracking. Well, but it's a great show, man. I like how smart it is starting to get. I like when it gets you thinking deep. In that episode before last, when they were talking about is this really my sister in this body,
Right.
or is it just a machine that thinks it is? I'm like, ooh, that's very Alan Moore of you. But good stuff. Good stuff. Don't forget, we're going to be running the Legion Loot giveaway here in just a few for the channel member in the Legion tier. Alien Earth, where would you rank this episode against the rest? This was my favorite episode yet, by far. I like the other ones a lot, but this one was just.
Yeah, I would say of the ones that have aired so far, yeah, definitely this one has been the best so far.
Can't wait to see where it goes. All right. DC KO. DC's big KO event is right around the corner. We looked at the lineup of the announced characters last week, but since then, they put up the actual fight sheet.
Mm-hmm.
We got the fight sheet, and this is officially put out by DC, I believe, right?
Correct.
So this lineup of characters, what do you call these things? These grids?
They're
Isn't there like a sports term for them or something?
Yeah. Give me a second to think of it, and I'm like brackets.
Brackets. There it is. So I cut it in two. So we're going to be taking a look at this half of the bracket first, and I want to know who Paul's got. I posted a bracket, and I just filled in who I think is going to win for the first round. We'll proceed through the week. So we're just going to. Well, I'll post them through the week. So we'll see how this goes. Paul, out of Superman and Giganta, who are you betting on?
Superman.
Same.
But the interesting thing is, you know what? It lines up Superman, Captain Atom in round 2, which is really early for that to happen, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm betting on. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. So if you're in the chat, we got Superman and Giganta for round 1. Who are you picking, Superman or Giganta? And the next one is Captain Atom and Power Girl. Pop says he doesn't think Captain Atom could beat Power Girl, which is pretty much Supergirl with an attitude problem.
Right.
Elimination round brackets. There it is. Thank you, Metal Elf. I'm taking Captain Atom for the second one. I want to see him proceed. And I put on my post on Instagram, like I put my predictions up, and they're not just based off who would win. If we're just taking raw stats, who would win if you ran this through a simulator? That's not how I picked all these. Some of them, yes. Some of them power of the plot. Some of them I'm just like fan hoping for. So for Captain Atom and Power Girl, I legit think Captain Atom could take Power Girl. I legit think Power Girl could take Captain Atom. I think that could fall either way, different times. I'm a little biased.
Captain Atom thinks he's a god.
Yeah, bro. So first off, that's a good thing. Pops, you haven't read the most recent appearance of Captain Atom in the Jenny Spark 7-issue miniseries, where he's a little bit touched, and you actually see him stretching the capability of his powers. He drops the entire Justice League without even moving. He's like in Dr. Manhattan mode, legit. I think Captain Atom could take Power Girl in the event of like I don't know the context of DCKO of how
Right.
hard these people are fighting against each other, these good guys against good guys, but unrestrained Captain Atom, I think could take. I think he could damn near sweep the board. Like there, you got some magic based characters on here that could hold their weight, but a lot of these people with an unrestrained Captain Atom, I don't know, I don't know. So I'm taking Captain Atom for that. Guy Gardner, Firestorm, who you taking?
Firestorm.
Same.
Guy Gardner's ego's going to do him in.
He's got to die.
Yeah.
That's what he's made for, right?
Yep.
That's the running joke over the last 2 years. Guy Gardner's got to die, right? Yeah, he's got to go. But I'm taking Firestorm. Jay Garrick and Cheetah.
Jay Garrick.
Same. Aquaman and King Shark.
Aquaman.
He is the king
Aquaman
after all.
all week and 3 times on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right. Connor Hawk and Hawkman. Yes, Firestorm in the chat. Hawkman. So we got Connor Hawk, which is Green Arrow's kid, and then Hawkman. Now, this seems like a no-brainer to me. Like Hawkman just walked the dog with him. So some of these are just so mixed match. Like if Connor Hawk was my favorite character, I'd still have to be like, oh man, I guess Hawkman, you know. Mm-hmm. But Lex Luthor and Black Lightning.
Got to be Lex.
It sounds like a no-brainer as well. And I think that they're going to advance him for sure, too, because it's supposed to be kind of a Superman-centric event as well, right?
Because I've heard that Brain beats Brawn every time.
That's what they tell me.
Except against Superman.
Except against Superman. Now, this next one is super tough. I didn't like seeing this matchup, but Etrigan the Demon and Kara Zor-El, Supergirl.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go with the demon because one of the super people's weaknesses is magic.
And he's magic bases. All his entire abilities come from Merlin summoning him. It's gone, the form of man, rise the demon Etrigan. I want to see my favorite rapping Kirby character.
He's gonna mesmerize her with his limericks, his rhyming limericks, and then defeat her.
He's going to start talking and she's going to stop and start beatboxing and then he's just going to bam, light her up. So I greatly want the demon to win that. I wanted to get at least one win out, one win in there. Let's see. I got the other half of the bracket here. Oh, sorry. Is that it?
Nope.
Did I put both of the same one in here? Well, fiddlesticks. Ain't that a shame? It's way too small on the big picture to get it all in there. God, it's taking forever to load. I know I got the other half of the board in here. And there it is.
Right now.
No, I had to save it. I had it on the other the Pixlr file.
Right after.
Let me load it up into here. And it's loading. Why is it taking too long to load? Try again. It doesn't like to upload images while it's live. It's not a fan of doing that. Loading. Get those things are loading. There we go.
There you go.
Please hold. Super family vulnerable to magic. Yep, exactly. So this one seems like a no-brainer to me. Wonder Woman and Starro the Conqueror.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I think Starro would body her, but I'm taking Wonder Woman because like it's a power of the plot thing. It took the entire Justice League to form to stop Starro. It took the entire might of Earth's heroes to stop Starro the Conqueror in Beast World not long ago. But that doesn't mean they're going to bring that version of Starro. You know, he comes in different sizes, comes in different capabilities. I think that they're going to definitely advance Wonder Woman, rightfully so. Next one. Now, this one was super tough. Lobo versus Plastic Man.
Lobo's going to tie Plastic Man up like the little bitch he is.
But you remember back in like before Rebirth when they were like really pushing Plastic Man to be like this alpha level character that they've never really explored the depths of his powers and stuff. Oh, Eel O'Brien.
Yep.
I don't think that's this Plastic Man either. I'm going Lobo. I think it's going to be, if nothing else, If nothing else, it's going to be like a fan push. You know, the Lobo, a lot
Say,
of stuff that happens
Lobo's
in
going to be
comics.
very important to DC Comics over the next 12 months.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like knowing that he's coming into the DCU. God, what if we even see him in Peacemaker? But that's neither here nor there. Knowing that he's coming to the DCU, a lot of stuff like that. That's marketing stuff. It comes into play. It definitely comes into play. Pops is taking Swampy on the next one. It's
Absolutely.
Vixen versus Swamp Thing, the red versus the green in the head to head. I'm taking Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
All day. Swampy all day. Cyborg versus Batwoman. This is another no-brainer to me.
Cyborg.
Same. Batman versus Star Sapphire.
Batman has a plan for everyone.
He does. Now this. I'll tell you why I think Batman is going to win this one. It's because of the next bracket is Red Hood versus Damian.
That's a good one. I'm going to go with Damian.
That's who I went with. I went with Damian because I think we're going to do the Batman versus the Son of the Bat fight all over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be cool to get a Batman versus Red Hood fight, but it's definitely not as cool as Batman having to fight Damian.
Right.
And that's going to lead me to my next bracket determination as well, because how do you get Batman out of this tournament? If Batman has a plan for everyone, how do you get Batman out of the tournament? You make him have to fight his son.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get him out. So I
He's
think
probably the only person he doesn't have a plan for.
Well, no, I don't think it's that he doesn't have a plan for him. I think that Damian's got a plan for his dad too. He learns from him, and I don't think that Damian can necessarily beat him, but that love for a son kind of thing. I think he can exploit that a little bit. I think Damian is the only person on this list that has a chance of advancing on Batman with this bracket style thing. I think he has the best opportunity, plot wise, writing wise, story wise. I think that he can definitely. It'd be easier to write something like that. Well, how Batman lose to that person? Well, it's his son. So I think that's how we get Batman out of the tournament is via Damian. The next one is Zatanna and Big Barda.
I know you're picking.
You'd be surprised.
I would be surprised. I'm picking Big Barda because there's no way that Big Barda is going to let some, backward talking,
back talking witch
exactly beat her.
Now I picked Zatanna because I think I want Barda to win. I think Barda could beat Zatanna, but Zatanna is a major powerhouse, and we don't have a lot of Magic players on here. So at this point in the bracket, I started thinking Zatanna is like a huge crowd favorite. I think Barda is like the only new god that we saw on the list too, right?
Yeah,
which is wild to think. But I think Zatanna is going to carry through on looks alone. So I picked Zatanna, and the last one is Metamorpho and Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn is a crowd favorite, but I would pick Metamorpho.
Yeah, so this is one where I know in my heart of hearts Rex, and it's not even close. But it was only like 6 years ago we watched Harley kill Captain Carrot and the entire zoo crew. You remember that?
Yeah, but he was a rabbit.
He was not just any rabbit. But Harley Quinn being a fan favorite, and she always has the power of the plot on her side. And I love me some Harley. She's like one of those anomaly characters, much like Batman. Like he has a plan for everyone, and she always falls upward. I think Harley's going to advance.
She's got that mallet, and Metamorpho's going to turn into mist, and the mallet's going to go right through him.
I think Rex would beat her 10 out of 10 times if people were like putting stats against stats.
Yeah,
but that's not how it works. Like I said, some of these I'm picking just on
what I said. Harley's going to be a fan favorite, definitely.
Yeah, dude, I love Harley. She's cool. I like Harley when she's rocking with the squad. Like she's never been in a better place ever than with the Suicide Squad. Like that's so perfect for her. So there's our round ones. When does this story start?
October.
Very interesting.
Acetate covers.
Oh, nice. I love acetate covers, dude. But who do y'all, if y'all, Squirrel Girl would beat them all. Ultimately, who do you think the final person's going to be that'll go head up against Darkseid? Do you think it's going to be Superman if it's that obvious?
Yeah, I mean, if you go by Joshua Williamson, who said that, KO is basically a Superman story.
The whole thing's been building up in the Superman issues.
Right.
More than any of the other ones, at least. It's happening in Justice League Unlimited. We have a couple of those teases of Darkseid an absolute Martian Manhunter, which was wild out of all the books. First time we've actually seen him.
Right.
That was crazy. Yeah, if you're in the chat, are you looking forward to the DCKO event? I legit am, because of how well it's being like built up. It's doing good. How could it not be? Yeah. Well, if they wanted to be a little creative, if they wanted it not be obvious. I saw some people commenting on my post that the final two is going to be Batman versus Superman. How could it not be? That's why I'm thinking that just seems too lazy to me to do. But also, Paul, I had a direct question for you. When we were riding around comic shopping in Florida, I got this in the mail. It's my thing to pay the toll. Do you ever pay these tolls?
I have one of the window things that pays it.
Okay. So I just scan the QR code and just pay it and done.
I think so. Yeah, you can just pay it right online. So
okay. You have the Sun Pass, is what it's called.
Yeah, exactly. I have the Sun Pass. Yes.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Just want to check with that with you. All right. That was in the stack to do tonight. All right. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know what happens if I don't pay it. All right. We gotta talk about this.
Yeah.
These are the hottest things out in comics right now. Everyone's buying them, opening them. These things weren't cheap. Every bag was
$10.
$10. Full price. $10 for a single issue comic book in here. $10 to not know what comic you're going to get. But I put up a YouTube short showing all, when I was at the shop earlier in the week on Tuesday, showing all the different variants for the brand new Batman issue #1. Matt Fraction's run, the same guy who wrote Monarch Legacy of Monsters on Apple for the Monsterverse. And they had some great variants.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Lee, Adam Kubert, Totino, Delato, Frank Quitely. And inside these things is a foil version of one of those covers.
Mm-hmm.
I opened it in a video and I reviewed the book, but I got the Delato foil, which is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bag and board this thing, or either just leave it in the bag as is. I'll bag and board it. Might send the bag with, but this is going to be included in the Legion loot for next month in case someone can get a Batman #1. Cause I just get myself the A cover. Mm-hmm. But this is definitely the biggest book of the week, Paul. What did you think of it? The biggest deal.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yikes is right.
Yeah.
$10 is crazy.
Yeah. I really did. I liked it a lot, and it's a lot different than if you've been reading Batman for a couple of years. It's a lot different than what you've been reading.
Yeah, through the James Tynion stuff, through that brief Williamson stint as it rolled over to Chip Zdarsky. I think it was a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you. Yeah. It felt, to me, it read like Detective Comics.
Mm-hmm. Alfred's back, but he's not.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
For those that aren't aware, Alfred died back in Batman 75, the previous run, when Bane broke his neck. It was a ballsy move. And they haven't brought him back.
Right.
It's been a big deal. Like, characters have grieved, and they've done things with like the money that was left. Like Nightwing did a lot of good for the community with the money that Alfred left behind for him and stuff. And but Batman, I feel like we went full Batman and Robin Michael Go moment. I remember when I first saw that movie in theaters, and me and Pops were sitting there, and I'm a kid when this happens. Pops might remember this, he might not. He's in the chat. We're watching it, and Michael Go's face pops up on the computer screen and starts talking to Alicia Silverstone, Chris O'Donnell, and George Clooney, where he has downloaded his mind into the computer while he's sick, dying in bed from McGregor syndrome. And my Pops goes, "They turned Alfred into Zordon?" He said that. They're like, "Yeah, I guess they did." But I feel like that's what Matt Fraction did with this. Alfred is a hologram, right, communicating and talking to Batman while he's driving the Batmobile. I don't like that. I've been critical of how they've done that with Jon Stewart, with the construct of his sister that's passed away. It's just a sign of you're not well. Mm-hmm. You're not well. That's how I see that. There's another thing in a recent book I read. I can't remember what it was, but interesting take. I wonder if it's something permanent that they're going to do. I wonder if people are going to push back against it a little bit, but it was a cool issue. Croc breaks free, breaks out of a building. Croc is going through a metamorphosis. It's like he's digressing a little bit. He's getting more animalistic. He's getting more childlike minded. He goes to I don't know if it was like a zoo or something. Was it just like I don't understand what kind of building it was. Was it a museum he went to?
I don't recall. I'd have to go back and look, to be honest.
But on Batman's way to responding to Croc, he stops by the park, stops some muggers from attacking these women. He leaves his car there on self-defense mode, which was really cool. And on the way over there, he's activating all these new gadgets. He's got the lenses that drop down over his eyes. He pulls out the bat wings, the gliding cape. He's got all kinds of little stuff, and it's cool how they're highlighting when he uses the gadget. You get a little box that says what the gadget is, its functionality and stuff. And when he gets to the little museum where Croc is, he gets in there and he fires up the electricity in his gauntlets and his back gloves, if you will. And he gets ready to go in there and fights, and realizing that this isn't the Croc that he was expecting. This is the childlike mind. So he ends up pulling his cowl down, sitting down next to Croc and talking to him. I'm like, dude, this was perfect. Like the shift, it had a legit buildup, and then the shift to this like legitimately heartfelt moment was fantastic. And the way that he kind of calmed Croc down, they were sitting there looking at this T-Rex, and he's like, I used to have one of these, kind of reminiscing on his old Batcave, how he had one. And Croc is like talking to him in kind of broken speech. He's talking about how his head's not well, he's not okay. And then the doctor shows up to come fetch him, and she brought like a little toy, I'm assuming out like the gift shop there, and gives it to Croc's like, do you want to come home? We'll try to help you. He's like, yes, I'm scared, I'm hurting. And when they're walking out, he goes and he hands the dinosaur to Batman. He's like, who's gonna help you? And Batman's like, I'm fine, I'm good, I don't need any help, buddy. You go take care. And Croc's kind of like, okay, and hands him the toy like, yeah, you do, buddy. I'm like, ooh. And he kind of goes home. You can tell he's kind of thinking about the events and everything that's taken place that night. And he gets a call from Tim Drake, and Tim's asking him, do you know anybody who works in the police department anymore? He's like, yeah, maybe. Why? He's like, I kind of need some help. And he's sitting there in an alley with a goon at his feet with his hands up with the police drawn on him behind him. So Vandal Savage is still the commissioner. He's brought in a hit squad to help assist with the police officers and cleaning up the city and taking down the capes. And Batman, his vigilantism is going to rock in his city. So we'll see.
Yeah, we got a nice little coming soon.
Let me hit you on that. Oh, yeah, very candid.
Mm-hmm. So we have Vandal Savage at the top there. Not really sure what's going on here. We'll find out. This made me think of Professor Pig, but I don't think it is. And then that to me looks like the Joker's eye, if you ask me.
It does, yeah.
So.
Kevin says DC Studios focus too much on Batman and Superman, create new stories to be part of the universe. We're just getting started, man. Just getting started. We'll get there. The last bunch of movies weren't, we had like Black Adam, Blue Beetle, Shazam, Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad, Aquaman. And even currently, we got the Creature Commandos, Superman, Peacemaker, Clayface coming, Swamp Thing coming, Lanterns coming. I think we're going to have some variety out soon. Batman's kind of doing its own thing in the Matt Reeves universe right now, doing well too. That Penguin show is amazing.
Yeah, so they announced Man of Tomorrow for 2027. Have you seen the list of movies that's coming out in 2027?
I have not. We were looking at 2026 last week, I think.
Zelda, Sonic 4, Shrek 5, Frozen 3, Ice Age 6, A Quiet Place 3, Man of Tomorrow, The Batman Part 2, Avengers Secret Wars, Passion of the Christ 2, Beyond the Spider-Verse, Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, and Star Wars Starfighter. Those are all scheduled. Now, not all is going to come out in 2027.
That was 13
but that's like
tent
huge.
poles.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. That's a big year. Now that I guess that explains why they moved some stuff up to May.
Right.
Or back. Move one up and one back. Man. That's insane. Yeah, I think we're going to get some good variety. I think we're moving towards some really good variety. I think Clayface is the next silver screen DC movie to drop, right?
Yep.
Be interesting. I'm excited. Some good stuff. But yeah, Batman #1's off to a good start. I like the tone. I like the feel. I like Matt Fraction. Jorge Jimenez, his artwork in there was phenomenal. Having Batman back in the gray and blue is chef's kiss. I just wish we had the yellow circle. We're almost there. Almost there. Don't be afraid of the yellow circle. That's the greatest Batman suit ever is black, gray, and blue with the yellow oval on the chest. We can do it. Let's get there. I don't know if it would translate well into movies, but it translates perfectly into comic books. Absolute Green Lantern dropped this week. This was issue number 6. This is the end of the first story arc. Paul and myself did a whole deep dive already. It's recorded. It's scheduled to come out tomorrow. You get all the answers to this entire first story arc. You get explained everything. The colors, what's happening, and it'll blow your mind. And it requires a deep dive to unpack it all. We also did the same thing with Absolute Superman number 11, another heinous issue, up close and personal with Brainiac 1. Just demented freak of a character, just savage. Let's see. Warner Brothers should have kept Mortal Kombat in October because this isn't going to give IMAX screen for The Mandalorian. When's The Mandalorian coming out?
Next year, I think.
Not sure. Exactly. I don't know. Is there even Kevin, do you know if there's a way or a site that we can even look up and see who's reserved IMAX screens ahead of time? I know like Christopher Nolan announces it. He talks about it because that's kind of a big deal. But other than outside of him, because there's that thing with what was it? Not this one. I think it was Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, maybe, and Oppenheimer that were having they weren't competing, but like Tom had to call Christopher Nolan or something and try to talk to him about IMAX screen availabilities and stuff.
Yeah, well, that was one of the problems with Jurassic Park this year too.
No IMAX screens.
No
F1
IMAX
had them all.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'd be curious to know if there's like a site where you can look at IMAX scheduling and stuff like that. I want to be excited for The Mandalorian and Grogu. I want to so bad. I watched these. I shared it last night. That Darth Maul short film. Even though it's like clearly not like $1 million production quality, it was so freaking good, and it just made me realize just how far we've gone away from quality Star Wars. It's a shame. It is an absolute shame. I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. It just sucks where Star Wars is at these days. I hope Mandalorian Grogu is good. I loved for season 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian. Season 3 was hot garbage, but I loved season 1 and 2. Season 3 just didn't. It was just all over the place. Just freaking weird. It felt like it was made by a different set of people, even though it wasn't. Kathleen Kennedy should have kept her foot out of that fire. Like, it was going just fine. Because it was going, some people might not know, the behind-the-scene thing is because season 1 and 2 did so good and the other stuff wasn't doing as well, Kathleen Kennedy forced the Book of Boba Fett to come out when it did. So it forced Favreau and what's Cowboy Hat guy's name?
Dave Filoni.
Forced them to redirect and rewrite what they had already done to shoehorn in Boba Fett. That's why you got that weird thing.
Which was the best episode of Boba Fett.
A random episode of Mandalorian in Boba Fett had nothing to do with it. But that's why that even exists in there. So she messed up what they were doing. Like they had this worked out how they wanted to do it, but she just wanted to like double dip. It threw off what they were doing. It reduced the quality of it. There's some great callbacks, some great lore stuff in there, but it just took the piss out of it, man. Like it's like watching X-Men 1, X-Men 2, and then X-Men 3. You're like, okay, one of these is clearly made by a different cast and crew, like a different writer's room, a different director. That's how Mandalorian season 3 looked and felt. I look forward to Absolute Tomahawk. Hey, don't write it off. Absolute Hawkman is coming. Absolute Green Arrow is coming. I understand your good quality with Star Wars. Fan base always complaining and being negative. I think that's not fair. Just like only a Sith deals an absolute. So I would take out always. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's important for us to have honest criticism towards stuff that we like. You know, if I go to a restaurant I like and the food doesn't come out right, I let them know so that they can be aware, so that they can hopefully correct the problem and make my experience even better. After all, I'm paying for the food, right? And I'm going to always support these things. I'm always going to talk on these things. I want them to keep making them. I want them to make them better every time, not worse. It's like the law of diminishing returns. You can look at the Mission Impossible franchise And it shows you that the law of diminishing returns is a myth. It doesn't have to be that way. That franchise gets better as it goes. That doesn't make sense. But Star Wars, that hasn't happened, man. That's just being honest. It's being honest. It's not my opinion that Star Wars is going to hell. That's just what honest people say. There's good stuff in there. I'm not saying 100% of Disney stuff is trash. I'm just saying if you take it all, if you put it all into a mortgage-backed security, you would have to have a dishonest ratings bureau to give it a AAA rating. Mortgage-backed securities caused the housing crisis. Deep cut, 2008. Same here. Yeah. What is going on, J-Med? So far, so great. But yeah, I hope it's good, man. I hope it's good. I think there's like this little promo or a little insert from the movie where Mando is just like clearing a room of stormtroopers. He's inside of an AT-AT walker and he's just clearing house. And that scene looks amazing. Amazing. I just hope it's good. I just want it to be good. It's going to feel like a TV show, no matter how much. It's going to feel like a TV show. It's going to be interesting seeing what normies do with it. You know, people that haven't been following Disney. We've learned along the way that people don't follow all this stuff on Disney Plus.
Right.
That was one of the big hangups that happened with Marvel.
Yeah, that's always the problem or the danger when you move from TV to movies. Is will people follow you there? Will people who don't watch the TV shows go and watch the movie?
Are you going to punish them when you make your next movie for not having watched your TV show? I love the idea of what the MCU was trying, and I was on board for it. But a lot of people tuned into WandaVision, and they mixed reviews for people. And then from there, you have less and less people tuning in. And when these shows started showing us that, like, wherever we start the show is going to be the same place we finish the show. And then people are like, well, I don't need to watch the show. And then all of a sudden, you had to start watching show for random lore points and stuff like that. And it became too much. Nobody has that much time to invest in this stuff. It was just too much. You'd have to spread it out. You have to greatly spread it out if you're going to do it that way. The idea is great, but it's just too big of a chore. That's why I don't want to see Superman and Peacemaker. Peacemaker needs to be its own thing. It's definitely in the same universe, but it doesn't. You don't need to have people saying, oh man, I'm watching Superman 2, this PG-13 movie for all these families and my kids to come watch. Why don't I understand what's going on with this? Oh, it was in Peacemaker. You didn't watch Peacemaker? No, I'm 7. No, I'm not allowed to watch that. You know, like you can't do that to your audience.
Like that's an excuse.
This should be entertainment and not homework. You know what's entertainment? I'll tell you what's entertainment. Eric. Over 120 entertaining pages of sci-fi goodness spanning across the cosmos. How far would you go for the ones you love? Go back it. Kickstarter.com. Eric. It's almost to 10K. If we get it to 10K, we get bookmarks.
We got to have bookmarks.
Got to have bookmarks. We're trying to get these bookmarks, guys. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yes. You better send us bookmarks, you POS. All right, dude. I'm super excited to talk about this one. I don't have a lot left, but man, I'm excited. Let's see if you pull the same one. Long time coming, long time waiting. A huge buildup for this.
Oh, it's got to be this one, then.
Hey, what'd you think?
It was good to see him back in his old. It's funny because I had forgotten some of the, I had totally forgotten about the 2 kids. It's like, because we really haven't seen them since. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We haven't seen him since the Superstar stuff that they did before the Summer of Superman. It's been a few months. Orso and Otho. Yeah, so a long time ago in a galaxy far away, Superman volunteered to have himself imprisoned on Warworld to figure out what was going on with this new Mongo. He was enslaving this entire people of Philosians that were like this offset of Kryptonians and stuff, and it was an insane saga. It was so freaking good. It was so good. They were playing with stuff from old god lore, introducing this old god named Orgrim, whose essence still existed in the universe as this power that you can wield if you could get a hold of it. And that people were after it. The leader of the Philosians was after it, and by the end of it, and where this picks up, he has that power. Now he's coming for revenge, and he's coming for more power. Superman ultimately kind of defending the home front, kind of gets thrown what looks like through time. way in the future, there was this book called Book of L. It was like just a quick little thing where Philip Kennedy Johnson wrote a story of what does Superman's lineage look like if we just jump to millennia down the road. And we're revisiting some of those characters who live in a terrible living situation. It looks like we're on the back end of that story even, because when we started that story, there was like a big family of them. Now it looks like we're down to just a couple of them. But futuristic dystopian kind of stuff, the name of L trying to live on through history. There's a lot of exposition in the form of a diary in the back of this where you get some context and stuff. And it also looks like the Philosians are attacking and waging war across the world. It kind of talks about that in the diary, as well as how people are dealing with that while Superman is mysteriously missing. Hope he shows up soon. I don't know how many issues this is going to be. Do you, Paul?
I believe it's 12.
Good God. That makes sense. Because the John Stewart Green Lantern, John Stewart War Journal was 12 issues, which kind of picked up some of the themes from the War World saga with the Old God and stuff and the Revenant Queen and kind of reminded us of these things that are there. So the War World saga, War Journal, and now this is kind of like one big thing. And it's going to be cool if someone's collects all that, like the Philip Kennedy Johnson saga. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, they've collected already the Action Comics issues, all of those, in a War World one. But now, probably in the next edition, they'll probably have to throw these in as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you could get that. You can get the War Journal trade paperback and then this and have the whole Philip Kennedy Johnson DC saga.
There you go.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. Just kind of this first issue was definitely just meeting the cast, getting to see him on the farm with the twins, hanging out with Ma and Pa. Lois is there. John's there.
But it ends with him being flung into the far future, I believe, right?
Yes, to the far future, to the other side of that. Because was it Future State that it was a 2-issue Book of L story? Yep. So we get that 2-issue story just kind of meeting the L family millennia from now. And then he gets flung into the future, which I think is on the back side of that Future State story. Because again, like where we meet him, it looks like the family is like some have died off now. It mentions how Brandon's dead and Braden and stuff. So there's a lot of characters that you'll see named that you might not know or understand, and that's fine. It's almost like in the Bible when they're doing the lineage, this person begot this person begot this person, just to give you context of how much time is gone and how there's only one left. And I think we're going to be focusing mainly on one who's going to be coming back in time with him, because I saw some stuff a couple of weeks back where it's saying that this futuristic Superman will be coming into DC continuity. I'm like, well, he's already there. He's already there. Read your comics. He's there. But yeah, it's good. If you're a Superman fan, it's a deep cut. This is super deep cut stuff right here. I don't know how well this might read if you just pick it up with this. If you haven't read War World, if you didn't read War Journal, I don't know. I have no clue. Exposition matters. It starts with a little bit of exposition of Orgum, that power of the Philosians that survived War World going to get it. So some of that will be there. What is going on? Good to see you, Martin. What is up? What is up? The idea is great, but the execution is what matters more. Great storytelling, better acting, etc. Yeah, I agree. Talking about Star Wars. But yeah, it was interesting. I'm very interested to see where it goes. I'll be picking up all of it. Let's see what Philip Kennedy Johnson's got. He was on social media talking about, I want to write Wonder Woman next. I don't know about that. Philip Kennedy Johnson has a soft spot in my heart for Superman. Hulk he's doing okay at. He's about to be starting that Infernal Hulk run. But we'll see. We'll see what you got, buddy. All right, I got two more. How many you got left?
2. But I know one of them.
Let's do some.
That was my own.
Yeah, we'll do the Monsterverse one first.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So starting with the A cover. I pull all covers. It's the only book that I get ignorant on and just get all covers. I had to get the cover A with the Drowned Vipers on there. They were featured in Godzilla X Kong New Empire. Awesome aquatic menaces. Got the whole Justice League stacked up against some really cool. I think who did the cover on that one? Yeah, Ducci did the cover on that one. This variant, absolutely love it. Steven Segovia. You got a little bit of Suicide Squad action on there with Harley, Peacemaker, and Cheetah. But more importantly, you have Mammoth and Rodan on there. But Mammoth is one of these crowd favorites. You see him like briefly in Godzilla King of the Monsters, and then outside of that, you have to be really invested in the MonsterVerse. You got to get like the MonsterVerse extended universe comics and stuff. But we need him back in some movies. Hopefully, he'll pop up in Supernova or something. Then we got the Alan Qua number 3. It was at 4, 4 of our connecting cover tapestry that they're building out. This one's got Flash, King Shark on there, King Ghidorah, Hawk Girl, a piece of Mothra's wing is in there, and a piece of Hal's mech suit is still in there from the other cover. So that one's super dope. And then the 1 in 25 Kevin Maguire, that's beautiful. Harley about to swat the butterfly and Mothra just peeking at her, and the texture that he put on that Mothra is just great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he nailed that. I like that Kevin Maguire is doing all the 1 in 25s. There's not a 1 in 50 or 100 for these later issues, just goes up to 25. But he's on the 1 in 25 for the whole one. In the first volume of the whole crossover thing, they had different artists on every 1 in 25, different artists on every 1 in 50. So I like that it's a matching set. If I end up down the road selling it, it'll sell easier, which we'll see. But this issue is probably the least of the 4 so far, in my opinion. There's been a lot of big moments, a lot of big things, but something major happens in the end of this. It just has me feeling kind of weird. We know that Waller and Shaw, so Waller and Shaw are respected from their different universes. Shaw is Kurt Russell's character from the MonsterVerse, are in charge of the Suicide Squad and Legion of Doom, and they're trying to figure out how to crack the code using science and magic to turn people into Titans, to have a reaction for when Titans attack. And the superheroes are in Hollow Earth, where there's no sunlight and everything, and they're trying to respond to Luthor's mech suit coming online, and they're trying, the bad guys doing their thing, good guys doing their thing, a little bit of fighting, a little bit of having to deal with Kong, a little bit having to deal with Godzilla finally showing up. Superman and Godzilla have a fight. Supergirl jumps in. Again, there's no sunlight down here. We're showing that Godzilla's atomic breath just wrecks Kryptonians to begin with. But a little bit of fighting goes on. It gets to the point where Superman is forced to have to inject himself with the Titan serum, and he goes full Titan and starts fist fighting Godzilla. A little bit mindless. It was crazy. It reminded me of a little bit of Sam Keith artwork almost, with it looked like the Max. I'm like, this is wild. This is crazy. But as you can expect with the sequel, it gets bigger, it gets radder, it gets wilder. But what do you think of him going all Titan like that?
Yeah, it was who is it? Mr. Terrific, right? Decides or finds a way to titanize him. And it only lasts for a little while. And oh, by the way, you may not be yourself when you're that big, and you may lose some functions, and synapses will be slow, and all those different things that he's talking about. And but it was kind of, it's a great way it's an inventive way to have Superman and Godzilla fight each other, toe to toe, basically being the same size.
Yeah, Superman needed an edge.
Yeah,
Superman needed an edge. Yeah, it was a good issue. Aaron Pierre, character John Stewart, is the focus point of Green Lantern. Some folks will reject the show no matter if storytelling is decent. I think, I don't know if you were still in the chat. I seen the comment before. I think it was a couple weeks ago you mentioned that. I think you're, if you're still there, I think you're underestimating John Stewart. Now, I have seen people, when Aaron Pierre was announced as the casting, some people that are diehard DC fans were critical that he wasn't dark-skinned enough to be John Stewart. How these people like, I want white people playing white people, black people playing black characters. They were critical that Aaron Pierre was too light-skinned. I've been campaigning for Aaron Pierre long time, because I watched Rebel Ridge, which he's phenomenal in. He is John Stewart in that. But we were screaming from the high heavens for that long before we got to this DCU casting stuff. But I think you're underestimating John Stewart's fan base, because you got to remember, John Stewart is Green Lantern for so many people. A lot of people that, if they're not diehard into comics and you just grew up through, if you were born in the 80s or early 90s, you grew up and John Stewart was your Green Lantern for an entire generation.
And he was the one in the Justice League on Saturday mornings. And
so I think there's something different about John Stewart, that for normies, a lot of normies know him as Green Lantern. I remember when Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern was coming out, a lot of people were like, why is he white? Because they thought that Green Lantern was black, thinking John Stewart, because that was their Green Lantern. So a lot of people, for an entire generation, John Stewart's their Green Lantern. Older people that are aware of Green Lantern understand it's a core. Younger people that are aware of comics and more aware of comics now because it's just way more mainstream are aware that Green Lantern is a core. I think that Jon Stewart is not only going to be well received, I think he's going to steal the freaking show.
Mhm.
And I don't want anything more than Aaron Pierre's Jon Stewart out of this show. It's going to blow us away. I can't wait. I think a little bit of it might lend to the Tomorrowverse. I don't want him to do the parallax thing with Hal. I'm cool with Kyle Chandler like training him because I've come to terms with how Jordan is older.
No, you haven't.
Didn't say I agree with it. I said I came to terms with it. But yeah, I think it's going to be great. As long as they take it serious, do the true detective tone and everything, then you're going to have a lot of happy people. But there's always going to be naysayers with anything in the world. You can go and you can take Terminator 2, the greatest action movie of all time, and there will still be naysayers to that. Those are called crazy people. We don't listen to crazy people. Just honest criticisms.
Yeah, and I also think
Friday Night Lanterns. Let's go. It better not be on Sunday.
No, he was doing the Friday Night Lanterns because of
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not. I mean, yes. I mean, I guess you can say Mary Jon Stewart is the focus point, but not really. I mean, you got Hal, you've got Guy, you've got Lanterns. I'm sure we haven't even been told about yet.
Sinestro confirmed. Atrocitus confirmed.
Yeah.
Black Hand got accidentally leaked out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, they're doing some big stuff with this show. I'm excited for it. But I'm most excited about Aaron Pierre's Jon Stewart. We've had Hal Jordan. We've had Guy Gardner. I want Jon Stewart. Mm-hmm. Bring me the builder. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the builder in here. Last one I got on here is JSA issue number 11, Ragnarok Part 1/11.
Exactly.
The Injustice Society has the Spear of Destiny. The stars are aligned. They're trying to bring the old gods in. What do they call them? The many-eyed gods or something in this?
The unnamed ones.
The unnamed ones. It's very what's his name?
They're very kaiju looking. I have to
help me out here, Pops. The unnamed ones. The gods from Hellboy. Oh my God. Who is the famous horror writer? Oh my God. Did From Beyond, Mouth of Madness.
I'm down for the Lanterns as long as someone's girlfriend gets fridged.
Oh, there we go. Hashtag fridge.
We haven't seen if Kyle's going to be in there yet.
I haven't seen that. Where are you at, Pops? Color of Space. Basically, yeah, Cthulhu. Yeah. Help me out here. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft. Thank you. Yeah. They're very H.P. Lovecraft. But the Injustice Society has been like a couple of steps ahead every time. We got Beth back. We got Obsidian back. The good guys are band together the best they can. They're going to go try to face them and stop them. They know they're going into a trap. I don't know how many parts this is supposed to be. It says Ragnarok Part 1. Don't be fooled. Every time we talk about this book, we tell y'all this is not an entry-level book by no stretch of the imagination. This says Ragnarok Part 1. You read this issue, you get to the last page, it says, like, DC Comics proudly presents Justice Society of America number 11, Ragnarok Part 11. This entire book has been one ongoing storyline of Ragnarok. This is a lie on the cover. I guess they're just trying to get people to pick this up. If you pick this up, it's going to read like issue 11, not part 1 of a story. Then at the end, it calls it part 11 of the story, not issue 11, part 11 of Ragnarok. But I highly recommend checking it out. If you're a fan of the JSA characters at all, you have context to the characters, and it'll read great. Tons of great characters. They all get good screen time. It's formatted and structured really well. A lot of action in it. It's a big recommendation. I love the artwork by I was going to try to say the name. I was going to try. I love the artwork by the artist.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And after Ragnarok, we're getting JSA Year 1. And then after that, we're getting The Search for the Spectre.
We got to go get him. We need this guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. One of the coolest DC Comics characters ever. You got anything else you want to hit on tonight, Paul?
I don't think so. I think that's pretty good.
All right. You want to give this stack of books away then?
Yeah, we should. Well, you should.
All right. Time for the big giveaway then. The first Sunday of every month, we run the Legion Loot giveaway. Normally a big stack of books relevant to stuff going on, best it can be. And for this month, this is what's in it. So Nelson, who owns Big Time Collectibles, he always sends a stack of stuff over that I pass back out to the community at large via Legion Loot giveaway and other giveaways. I run a lot of giveaways every Tuesday on my new DC Day live streams, a giveaway every week, and then the first Sunday of every month. And I'm crouching up on 500 or 5,000 subscribers. So when we get there, we're going to do a big, I'm going to get a big giveaway for that. Regina King led DC Watchmen. People didn't embrace that show in viewership numbers on HBO.
It was one of the most acclaimed shows on HBO.
Highly acclaimed shows ever on HBO, bro. Again, there's always naysayers. Don't listen. Yeah, all right. With anything, Kevin, weed through the crazy people and then listen to what remains. Like I'm sure that you can separate honest criticism from trolls. And even when that came out, there wasn't a large social media isn't what it is now. That show was highly praised. Jonathan Majors Lovecraft had good writing. People didn't show up. Dude, that was an amazing show. That was at the start of HBO Max too. That was an amazing show. That put him on the map. Atticus, he played Atticus. So good. Yeah, I watched that show every week it dropped. That Sundown Town episode, dude, I was on the edge of my seat. And then when the monster showed up at the end, I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, I think Watchmen's tough. Watchmen's tough, and it was still highly praised. Yeah, dude. I don't know if you could find a single person that would say anything negative about the Watchmen show, to be honest with you. I've never met anyone that did. Not everybody's into it, so numbers are tough sells. So Watchmen's kind of niche, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're always going to get those people who are like Alan Moore, where you don't touch something that's considered perfection.
You have the creator of Watchmen telling people not to go watch Watchmen every time something's done with this is Watchmen before Watchmen the comic. Don't read that trash. DC should never make it. Watchmen the movie. Don't watch that. V for Vendetta. Don't watch that. Which is also amazing. The Watchmen TV show. Don't watch that. Yeah, the Watchmen show was good. It was really good. But at that time too, the MCU was starting to really ramp up. People weren't watching DC because like there's this weird mindset people have. This totally weird mindset that, oh, this Marvel stuff is great. I'm not allowed to like both of them. It's weird. Very weird. Very weird. I like both of them when they're good. But Spider-Man, issue number 64, John Jang exclusive from Big Time Collectibles. The Crow number 1, Miko Suwayon, Fan Expo exclusive, limited to 300 copies. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Free Leah Brago, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, limited to 300 copies. Death of the Silver Surfer number 1, Fan Expo exclusive, limited to 500 copies foil. Then, because the DC versus Marvel stuff is coming back with Deadpool and Batman kicking it off, we got the best one ever. Let's see if they can top it. They can't, but it should still be fun. DC versus Marvel number 1, Marvel versus DC number 2, DC versus Marvel number 3, and Marvel versus DC number 4, the first appearance of the Amalgam characters, which hopefully we'll be seeing more of them. They're about to reprint the first 12 issues of the Amalgam universe, hopefully in foil. Maybe we'll get all 24. Have to wait and see. Also, to celebrate Peacemaker Season 2 out, we have Suicide Squad issue number 1 from 2016's run. Jim Lee cover, Jim Lee Interiors, first appearance of Amelia Harcourt. Also, the B cover by an early Lee Bermejo. So you get 2 copies of the first appearance of Amelia Harcourt, both covers. And Batman Brave and the Bold issue number 4, the Kale New variant. Cover C featuring Harcourt right there on the cover. It might even be her first cover appearance. I'm not sure of that. And then keeping with the Charlton characters because of Peacemaker, Judo Master, I'm hoping we see more of the Charlton characters as we go through Peacemaker. Ted Cord, Blue Beetle, issue number 1, the Modern Comics version that features the first appearance of Vic Sage, The Question. All that going to one lucky person whose name's on the wheel. First off, I want to thank everybody for coming and talking. I appreciate the conversation. I really do appreciate everybody who shows up here every week. Kevin, John, Pops, Joshua Davis, what's going on? I appreciate all you guys. T-Dubs, Matt, Joffrey, all you guys that are in here regularly, watch on the rewind. Can't thank y'all enough. I honestly love the conversation. I enjoys it. I enjoys it a lot. Wheel of Names. Add it to the screen. All right, y'all know the routine. I got all the names on here. I'm going to start shuffling them until Paul tells me to stop.
Stop.
Now, keep in mind, Paul, what's the rule?
Mark is in charge of everything.
The rule is Paul told me where to stop. If you win, you tell Paul thank you. If you lose, you blame Paul. Peacemaker is fun as hell. I hear $1. Do I hear 2? Good luck, everyone. Good. Yep, you too, David. Good to see you always in here on Tuesdays as well. Alan Moore had issues with DC and the film industry at large. Yeah, he's salty. DC only kept making those Watchmen comics and keep the rights so Alan can't have them. That's so salty. And hey, for those that don't know, Watchmen, Charlton books, it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. Good luck, everybody. The August Legion loot winner is going to
Kid I was that close, I think.
You know what's cool is Kid Rhino. Like, he's the guy who made my 3D printed stands.
Oh, nice.
He's won this like 4 times. He's been like a quiet member since day one. But he doesn't like hang out on YouTube a lot and all that stuff. But he wins. He wins these things often. Yeah, well, Screeches is back. Hell of a giveaway. Mark turned into the Micro Machines guy for a second there. Yeah. Yeah. Prices may vary. So I appreciate everybody who watches. Thank you to the members that are in the supporter tier, and thank you to all the people in the Legion tier that get you on that monthly spin. And that's going to do it for tonight. Hope y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the pre-recorded video. It's getting ready to upload for the DC Deep Dive. We'll be breaking into Absolute Superman 11 and Absolute Green Lantern number 6. Then we'll be live at 9 p.m. on Sector's channel with Jonathan Medici, J-Med, John Comic Avalon, all of those people. It's one person. He is a trinity. And then we will also have Sir Timothy Nerdy on for Guess That Key, where it's the last epic summer giveaway. And then who knows what Paul will bring after that. But amazing prizes, slabs, foils, all kinds of stuff being given away Wednesday night during that live show at 9 p.m. Until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.
Only one of us has a parachute. Good luck. Ah!